Good evening and welcome to the Channel Studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. The FBI has warned that armed protests could take place in Washington, D.C. and in all 50 state capital cities in the run-up to Joe Biden's inauguration on January the 20th. US officials have said that Trump supporters are expected to storm the Capitol again on Inauguration Day in an event branded online as a Million Militia March. The Pentagon, FBI and Secret Service have all been placed on alert, and the National Guard said it would increase troops in Washington to at least 10,000 by Saturday. Meanwhile, House Democrats have introduced an article of impeachment against President Trump for incitement of insurrection. House leaders have scheduled a Wednesday vote to charge Mr. Trump for his role in inciting the riot at the Capitol that left 5 people dead last week. The vote will be held unless Vice President Mike Pence invokes constitutional powers of the 25th Amendment to remove Mr. Trump from office. However, there is no sign that Mr. Pence is prepared to do so. If convicted, Mr. Trump will be the first president ever to be impeached twice. Ugandan opposition president candidate Bobi Wine says soldiers have raided his home and have arrested his security guards.
2 of my gardeners were taken away.
Wine has also said at a news conference that one of his drivers had been shot by the military on Monday night and died in the morning. Ugandans are set to vote on Thursday in the presidential elections, which will see Mr. Wine face longtime leader Yoweri Museveni, a former guerrilla leader who seized power in 1986. The former president and vice president of the Tigray region have been among the captured TPLF members who have landed in Ethiopia's capital Addis Ababa. Footage shows former President Abe Weldu and former Vice President Abraham Tekeste wearing handcuffs and being escorted by armed guards from the airplane. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed's government declared victory in its conflict with the Tigray People's Liberation Front on November the 28th. It is believed that the conflict has killed thousands of people. India's Supreme Court has halted the implementation of new farm laws that have been fiercely opposed by farmers and that have sparked huge protests outside the capital. The top court has said it will form a committee to hear farmers' grievances against the laws. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that he wants to nearly double India's economy by 2024, and the legislation aims to modernise an antiquated agricultural system. Farm leaders have said that the laws will enable a few corporations to control the country's vast agricultural sector and fear the overhaul will lead to lower crop prices and pave the way for corporate takeovers of their small farms. The black boxes from the Indonesian passenger jet that crashed into the ocean with 62 people on board have been retrieved. Authorities hope that the black boxes can provide vital information about the possible cause of the crash. The 26-year-old plane lost more than 10,000 feet of altitude in less than a minute. The Boeing 737, which had been grounded for 9 months last year, passed an airworthiness inspection last month. The black boxes will now be handed over to Indonesia's National Transportation Safety Committee. People in central Spain are struggling as a deep freeze follows the weekend's heavy snow, leading to treacherous conditions. Officials have warned the elderly to stay at home. At least 7 people have died due to the weather. The temperature plunged to minus 25 degrees Celsius in Molina de Aragon and Teruel in mountains east of Madrid, which was Spain's coldest night for at least 20 years. And finally, a South Korean startup company has developed a collar that can detect 5 emotions in dogs by monitoring their barks using voice recognition technology. The collar can tell owners if their dog is feeling happy, relaxed, anxious, angry, or sad. The company has developed an algorithm based on a database of more than 10,000 samples from 50 breeds of dogs.
Instantly realize that how their dog feels.
The Pet Pools collar can tell pet owners through a smartphone application how their dog is feeling and help them communicate better and more accurately. And that's your international news around the world in 5. And now back to the Channel Studios in Lagos.